get this stuff over?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, make all the room you need. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Hi.
Hi, hello.
It's right here. Little stack.
Will your camera fit? Or the other bag? The other bag fit? Okay. Can you go to Terminal 5?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Southwest. That's what it says. Yep.
Yep. Thank you.
And there's cell phone chargers back there if you need one.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, of course.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. We're set. Rock and roll.
We're rolling.
They just don't let you guys pick up from there, but you can drop off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got rid of the.
Yeah, the pickups.
Well, that must be new. I never did it, so I get it. But yeah, I never.
They got rid of the. I guess it was maybe because it was so chaotic or something.
When yeah.
Terminal 5 is chaotic.
Yeah, they moved it to like you have to
2,
go
right?
to Terminal 2 specifically if you're doing pickups. But what I
Yeah.
do if I drop people off, I turn it off and I don't pick up until I leave.
Uh-huh.
I think you can
You can drop off. You
drop
just
off.
can't pick
Yeah,
up.
there you go.
We just realized that the last time.
Yeah.
But honestly, taking the shuttle to Terminal 2 wasn't horrific or anything. We would still rather take an Uber than.
Yeah.
I think the cab fare is still higher.
Yeah. It's probably the cab companies that complained or something. Maybe it was taking too much business and they said, we want that business back, maybe. I don't know.
Who knows? All right. And no matter how much we try and prepare and get ready ahead of time, we're always down to the wire.
Nah, not really. Ear wire. But we're all good.
Yeah.
Where are you two flying to?
Going to Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix. Okay. You said it's way too cold in Chicago still. You go somewhere-
Yeah. Right.
Makes sense.
We're like, what's going on? June, and it's, cold at night and in the mornings.
Yeah. no
Today's not
thanks.
bad.
It's not bad, but you're right. It's not bad. I'm a California person. I grew up out there, so
Uh-huh.
this is not
Cold.
bad is the exact word for it.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Not good, but it's
Southern
not bad.
California.
Yep,
everything.
yep,
Yep.
LA. Yeah, I grew up actually in wine country, and then I moved to LA in my 20s.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, our son's in San Diego.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
For a
He
couple of
loves it
years
there.
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
It's very expensive. He
Yes.
will likely never own a home.
Probably will not there.
Yeah.
Not that. I mean,
It's
yeah.
pretty there.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Unfortunately, one of the things is that in California, a lot of foreign investors are buying property, and a lot of corporations are buying them for Airbnbs or
Yeah.
to rent out. And so the housing prices are just insane.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, that's an issue everywhere, but
Yeah,
it's really
Phoenix,
bad.
too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
A lot of people in California went to buying
Mm-hmm.
Arizona and all that, and,
And
that pushed the prices
jacked
up.
those prices, like doubled the prices.
Yep, Texas did the same thing. Yeah, and I think I might have accidentally done that here.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a bargain compared to California. Everywhere you go is a bargain.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. I was really lucky. I bought a house in 2021 in Edgewater, kind of close to Wrigleyville.
Uh-huh.
And I timed it. I got like sub 3% APR. Like I timed it
Oh,
perfectly.
beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah, and then
Now you're at
everything.
7 and
No thanks. Yeah, it's so bad. But that's part of it. So that's why I was just had an agent in the car, and she was talking about how sales are stagnant because nobody can get a loan, nobody wants to get a loan, and so only corporations that already have the money are buying the properties, and so
and those have seized up, at least in the Phoenix area.
Oh, absolutely.
They're locked up. They can't even.
because they can't even rent them out anymore.
No,
they can't even
they'll
rent them
be
out.
upside down.
Oh, there's
Yep.
so you should see in Phoenix how many apartment complexes are going up.
Wow.
Massive,
Wow.
massive amounts of them.
Wow.
I mean, you're gonna
Massive amounts of them.
You're
So
gonna
they're
have
going to have
tens of
all that
thousands hitting the market.
competition.
It's gonna be flooded with rental opportunities, and that'll probably help drive home prices back down a little bit, I think.
Well,
Hopefully.
And then
but
just the fact that they're so far above the median household income that there's no buyers that can really step into the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's something wrong when a starter home is $500,000-$600,000.
Oh,
I'm like, it's like, this is your starter home,
Right.
and it's like, no.
Unless
Like, what happened to 200s?
well, they'd have to really raise
150, 200.
they really have to raise that median wage, then
Yeah.
that household income has
that's
got to be
not-
higher.
that's not
It's
gonna
not gonna happen
happen.
overnight.
No.
So it'll come back and meet the market. It has to, otherwise, builders won't be selling.
Right.
People won't be selling their homes.
Yeah.
They won't be buying, won't be selling. Well, that's what is it? Das Kapital, Karl Marx, right? Eventually, the product, if you're not paying the workers, the product becomes so expensive that nobody can buy it anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's essentially we're at that end of that bubble, getting ready to pop.
It was a little too unnatural. In 2 years, a home goes up more than it does in 30.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's
I know.
artificially inflated. It'll come back down just by averages.
We were
Exactly.
looking a couple right when COVID started,
Oh.
right shortly after when
Started
COVID
looking.
started.
Yeah.
We started looking down in Phoenix,
And we didn't act.
and we were
Wow.
like, "Are you people crazy? You want $320,000 for
this for a little
when,
ranch and
when just a few months ago it was $270. Like you
Uh-huh.
people, like $50,000 and too much.
And
You people are
then-
crazy, and now it's like $640.
Yeah.
It's like,
No,
it's
well,
like,
wish
what
you'd
the
have
hell?
grabbed it. Yep.
If I had that crystal ball.
Yeah.
See? Yeah.
What yeah. I remember we were telling him, we're like, you people are insane if you think someone's gonna come and buy it at
Yeah.
that.
Right.
And they did.
In Arizona, this much? No thanks. That's my.
Yeah.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah, you're in a
You're
desert.
supposed to get like a really nice like
You used to be able
retirement
to.
home for 2 or under.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Not 5
No.
and 6.
So then the question is it's either where's the construction going? Is it people gonna start going to Montana then, or like where else? Kentucky,
I
like
know,
the places,
like
right?
where,
Yeah.
where?
Yeah.
Let's see. Tennessee, they said hit a wall. Arizona, Idaho, like certain, not the entire state, but like in general, like Nashville, things like that. So
Sure.
the big metropolis.
Yeah.
They said it's reversing. It's off the peak by anywhere from 9 to 12% right
Oh,
now.
wow.
I look last. So I'm not saying it's going to plunge 50%.
Sure.
That'd be awesome. I mean, not for
People that have to
Right.
sell or people
yeah,
that.
but well, sure. If they,
Well-
as long as we get ours, as long
Yeah.
as we can get one at a low price.
See, and that's exactly it. That's the trade-off where I'm like, I like my home value, but I want other people to have a home too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where's the balance on
Well, there's Phoenix
And
is like
also-
40% investors, so they're going to
Yep.
be the ones to flood the market with inventory because they're
Exactly.
paying juice on those
Exactly.
properties because they didn't just have cash; they have to borrow from the banks, and
that? Uh-huh.
so if their rates are going up,
Yeah.
the lending rate,
And they can't rent it out. They can't find people
Right.
for it. They're going to have to dump it. And then it's
Exactly.
going to come back on the market again.
and that's where your bargains are going
If
to happen.
I
Hopefully.
had a house, even if it had gone so much up in value,
Mhm.
and let's say I still needed to like get a mortgage, most people do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would still need to get a mortgage. I would be like, there's no, and I had like a 2% interest rate or whatever. I'd be like, no way in hell I'm selling it so that I have to
Buy
take
something
on
at
a
7.
Sure. Yeah. No way.
It's craziness. It's all crazy.
Well, if you had 2 homes, you could
It's like
sell
you're.
at the peak and then just stay in the one. And if
It's like the stock market. You never know what'll happen, or
Right.
gambling
Yep.
in a casino. Like,
Yeah.
what are your odds?
Let's see. This is why I do all 3: crypto, gambling, and stock market. One of them will get
You're
me.
very
Yeah,
diversified.
one of them will get me.
Uh,
Yeah, we'll see. It's the real estate, unfortunately, has become just like stocks. I think with a lot of these companies now,
Yep.
they park it there, and I think the ones that gobbled it up after 2008, all that inventory, they're the ones that just made a
Killing.
huge killing
Mhm.
and sold it during this peak.
But oh yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why California is so big, because that was exactly it. A lot of foreign investors, especially from China,
Yeah.
because in China you can only own property in China for I think 60 years, one generation, and then it goes back to being owned by China. But if you buy
Really?
something in America, you can pass it down to your kids.
Wow.
So that's why like 30%.
Interesting.
30% of the houses that are purchased in California are empty. There isn't even anybody in them.
I heard that's the same thing in China too. That they build these.
In Arizona too, though.
Wow.
There's a lot of.
There's a lot of empty homes and a lot of Chinese companies bought there too.
Or
Exactly.
people,
right.
Yeah.
just individual people.
Sure. Yeah, I personally think
Oh,
if they were to
wow.
just make it a law where corporations can't own
Homes.
homes, right?
Mhm.
Family homes, then that would just fix it. That would put so much back on the market. So many people would be able to afford houses again. I think that would be a huge.
It would
boon to the
stabilize the
economy.
market for sure.
Absolutely. Because what's happening now is that the corporations are buying it, jacking up the prices. It's unpredictable, and they're just playing it. And that's why Monopoly, if you've ever played the game Monopoly,
Yeah.
was made as an indictment of the current system. Because if you want to win Monopoly, just buy the houses. Don't build hotels. Just buy all the houses you can until nobody else can build houses. Nobody else will be able to create wealth. And that's exactly the problem we have right now.
That's interesting.
Yep.
That is interesting.
Very interesting.
I
I didn't.
There is a actually I was in the car with there's an Uber driver
Mhm.
in Arizona. I was going to Sky Harbor,
Uh-huh.
and it was when we first were like dabbling around in Phoenix, Lisa. And so she used to be with, I forget her title, with something with the city municipality that had to do with zoning.
Okay.
And she said, a little bit alarming, she said all the good property is gobbled up already. Big funds own it. She goes, and then you got the Indian reservations where you can't build on it, so
Yeah.
it's kind of locked. She goes, a lot of this land, a lot of these lots are already owned and gobbled up. So there's
Yeah.
really not an opportunity for
Yeah.
people to come in and just keep expanding.
Yeah.
She was only talking about the Phoenix proper, so
Sure.
you obviously have to go further out and away from Phoenix to get it.
Yeah.
But if you want to be in that area, it's spoken for. She said,
Wow.
big. It's not people. She goes, it's like you said, for investors,
Yeah.
big fund managers, people just parking their money, gobbling up real estate,
Yep.
and they want to change it into a mini California, I guess.
Yeah.
They want to bring all kinds of. They want to turn it into an oasis, basically, not a desert.
Right. I know, and they're doing that with Vegas as well, Nevada, right? They're turning it into, they're just planting a ton of trees to just try and change the weather. They're just
Yeah.
like, we're just going to do that, plant trees, make an oasis, and just see if they can make it no longer a desert.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's probably cool to see in 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll definitely change it. I think it's possible if they do that. And then if that happens, who knows what's going to happen to all the desert land like Phoenix, like New Mexico, right? There's a lot of open space there that could be turned into something different.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So what brought you out here?
My daughter, actually, yeah. So her mother and I, when we split up,
Uh-huh.
we never married. When we broke up, she moved here with my daughter. And so I work in tech from home, and I do this, and I do comedy. So I figure
nice.
I can do that from Chicago, so I can.
Very cool.
Yeah, I got 9 more years, and then I get to go back to California.
You think you go back?
Oh yeah, that's that's the plan.
So you do miss it. All right.
I miss it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So being in the city, what do you think is going on with Chicago?
What do you mean?
Like, is there still migration away from the city? Do you see that, or is there movement back to the city? Based on all the, I mean, because I know during the COVID, everybody was getting away from the city, getting larger homes, working from home. Do you see a
Sure.
change at all being down there?
I haven't noticed. It still seems very busy. Also, when the weather starts to get to 70, just everybody in Chicago goes
Yeah.
outside. Plus, it's like a parade today, so it's very busy.
Very busy.
Yeah, I haven't noticed it a ton. I think there are a lot of people that they did stay because remote work is staying. It's not going anywhere. So
I think so too.
Yeah. So the people that moved have already moved. I think there's not as many that are leaving as much as it was, but there is still an outpour of people leaving Chicago because of the taxes, because of the way the finances are, because
Yeah.
the property taxes are so much. I think some people still leave because of that. But it's I don't know. I haven't paid attention to it. I've seen housing prices, at least in the areas where I'm at, seem to be on the rise. They haven't been going down at all. So I think it's balanced out. I think it's to the same degree. It's getting as much people coming in as leaving, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
But I think it's like what we were saying, right? That it's where could they go? Like Chicago was cheap. Where else is there to go that's cheap and affordable? So that's the question, you know. Are people staying or are they finding renting? I don't know. Who knows?
I said the Midwest with the job prospects and the fact that it didn't go as much as the Sun Belts in terms of real estate.
Yeah.
I think it's a little more stable and it'll resist any kind of pullback. It won't be the bigger like you'll see like a Florida, like maybe Austin, Texas. You'll see, like we said, Phoenix and parts of California. You'll probably see a pullback because the prices have gone up, and it's when you get to the point when you price out people out of the market, it's got to come back down and meet something of the market a little bit.
Exactly.
But I think the Midwest is a little more resilient to that because they didn't have the same kind of explosion.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
I know my mom's house in Des Moines has not
gone crazy high.
It has not gone crazy high at all. In fact, I feel like it's a little bit lower than what it was, years ago.
Prior to 2008.
Yeah. Just close to the city, though, too. But
yeah. So you said that you had a broker in here, a real estate broker in here?
Yeah, she's an agent.
And she says the market, she sees it's kind of soft right now for realtors?
She's seeing it, yeah. There's less sales, less people buying, less people trying to get loans. So she's saying on her books there was a lot less for the last 2 months. And my mom's an agent in California, and she's saying the same thing. It just seems like purchasing has gone down. Because now it's the summer is when people like to move, especially if they have family, they have kids in school, they like to move in the summertime. And so now is when houses sell the most, and it seems like it's really slowed down.
And that'll be a ripple effect. All the companies that sell drapes and blinds, all the people that do home improvement, all the they move in here, people start spending money on it.
Yeah, you're right.
That's going to be slow. It's going to be a ripple effect.
That's very true. You're right.
Sell your Home Depot stock, low stock.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I know. I think, what is it? I was reading about the current economy state. We're in a recession. It's the question is it a soft landing or not?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it is. It looks like the groundhog is seeing its shadow. We've got 4 more years of recession, I think.
Yeah. I think we just hit a pause.
Yeah, I don't think we're through the worst of it at
all. Nope, I don't think so either. And now might see more. You probably know more than us. Gas prices might see another surge.
They are picking up. Okay. So it is happening. Yeah. So if you see these cars here, these are Uber drivers.
Oh, really?
And they don't want to wait in the lot that you're supposed to wait because it's faster to just go to the airport if you wait here. So that's what all these cars are. All these people are waiting for rides.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I was always wondering.
Yeah.
There's a lot today.
It's always like this, and there's even more coming up, and there's more over there too. Yeah, it's always that. I mean, these are the ones that's like taxi drivers, right? They sit there, they park, they wait, they get the ride, and then they come right back to the airport. And so that's what these people do here.
There's no shortage of rides at the airport.
Exactly.
So that's like right after you're done with this one, do you like get another one, or do you just how does Uber do that? Do they decide?
Usually, and so because at the airport, if I'm at the airport, there's a specific lot I'm supposed to go to, and it'll say go to that lot, and I think it's somewhere around there where those cars are.
Okay.
And so then it'll give you someone if you're in that specific geolocation.
Oh, all right.
But if I'm doing like regular driving where I'm out in the city or something like that, when I'm on my way to dropping somebody off, usually I've got about 4 or 5 minutes left, it'll say, hey, another pickup. And I'll accept that one, and then I'll drop them off, and then it'll navigate me to the next pickup.
So you really got to go to that geo-fenced area to receive the ping for O'Hare or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
And are you like allowed to cherry pick or not really?
You can cherry pick to a degree, but they have an acceptance rate. They want you at a certain acceptance rate. Like you can only say no to 3% of the total rides they're sending your way.
Gotcha.
And you're
penalized almost.
Yeah, and they'll start giving you less and less.
Okay.
But you can cherry pick, you can deny, you can say, and there's like, you can offer to drive pets. You can do where some people don't want to pay the full price, so they'll say, oh, somebody else can ride with me if they want to, and so they'll get a cheaper ride, and then you'll get stuck on these chains of like picking up 9-10 different people and get less payment for it. and it's because they're sharing the ride. Yeah, which I don't necessarily mind those, but like if you're on the south side, you don't want to be the cheapest ride because you don't know who's going to get in. So I had somebody get in like really drunk at like it was like 10 in the morning, and they were like hammered. And they like got out to throw up and I'm so glad they didn't do it in the car.
Gosh.
So lucky. And so it's just one of those where it's like you never know. You don't want to be on that end of it. But you can pick. You can say, so now I don't drive pets. I don't drive that. So those rides. It's just straight Ubers only.
So you may just hang out at the airport mostly at night.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
People just need to be picked up. They're tired. They want to get to their hotel or house.
Exactly.
You're not going to get someone drunk unless they've really had a good flight, huh?
Right, exactly, yeah. Usually, they have to be friendly to get the stewardesses to give them the money. And
Right.
Tend to give them the booze, so.
That's good.
Yeah.
Tony, what you thought of Uber? Jeez. Was it some college guys that thought of it and created the app?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Uber is actually a tech company. They're not it's not about the rides. What they are is they want to have the market share. People would say, if you think you need a ride, you think Uber, not taxi. Because what they want to do is they want to create self-driving cars.
Yeah.
So that they own the fleet. That's the whole point of it. It's a tech company.
Everybody's going to get in Teslas and just send your own car out.
Exactly.
It's funny. It's a phrase though. Like, oh, we're gonna go grab an Uber.
Sure.
It's like you don't say you're gonna grab a Lyft. You don't say you're gonna grab a taxi.
Yep.
It's
Uber.
grab an Uber.
Coke and Pepsi.
That's why,
Their
and that's
Coke.
exactly, and that's exactly. They've been operating at a loss for their whole 10 years. They were always losing money, but it was investors that were keeping it going because they thought self-driving would work. But self-driving is probably 20 years away still.
You think it's that far? Yeah,
Oh
maybe.
yeah, I'm a techie. I'm an IT guy. I talk to
So
other people.
Teslas, they're
Nowhere
auto
near-
driving.
Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. Yeah.
I got this
Have a
stuff.
great flight, you two.
Thank you so much, John. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll just get
Cool.